everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to make Kindle covers. I have this Kindle since last September and have yet to have a case for it, so I thought it would be a great way to have a DIY. I love it. I do prefer real books, but it's still good. And I have seen a lot of those notebooks like this in fancy shops, like it's an explorer type notebooks, and they're usually very expensive, so I didn't want to pay for one, but why not making a case for it? So here it is, very simple, made out of pleather. So if you have a man in your life, you don't know what to give them, because men are very hard to make for, I think that can be a great present. It can be made out of other materials as well. So then you have this cord, and then it's just held together with some elastic, so very simple. It can be glued together, but I have sewn it together, so you can really choose with this. And you're not limited to a Kindle. You can make it for your tablet, or you can make it for any type of device. Really, all you have to do is change the measurements of the pattern. So very simple. And the second design I'm going to show you, I've messed it up a bit at the end, but yeah, I'm sure you're going to do a better job than I did. And I am still obsessed with Game of Thrones, so I thought, why not recycling a design, aka my egg tutorial, and to something that is a bit more practical, because except pretending I'm a Khaleesi all the time, I don't think what I can do with my dragon egg. It's in my living room, but it doesn't really do anything, so I have this. It's a slightly time-consuming DIY, but I think it looks really good, and it's very sturdy as well, so it provides a lot of padding. So without further ado, let's get going. So first off, you will need two pieces of pleather that are big enough to cover your Kindle and wrap around it. You will also need a piece of interlining that is about the size of your device. Cardboard will work too. You will need some cord, using pleather cord, and you will need some elastic. So you're going to take your first piece of pleather and you're going to attach to it your interlining or cardboard on one side. I'm going to use a bit of hot glue to put it in place so it won't move on me later on. So next you're going to take your other piece of pleather and place your device on the far right of your pleather. You're going to align your edges together, and we are going to mark up where the elastic is going to be. Depending on your device, that is going to change for you. On the other side though, you're only going to be able to do the markings for your elastic on the outer edge of your pleather. For the one that are on the inside, we will have to wait until our two pieces of pleather are put together to do them. Next, I'm going to cut 4 pieces of elastic that will measure about 6.5 centimeters. Depending on your device, that might change. Then I have glued in place my elastic. As you can see, I'm staying away from the edges because my machine won't sew through that glue easily. And I've also glued my cord, and I have centered it on the middle of the short edge. So now it's time to put the whole thing together. You're going to match your two pleather bits with wrong sides together, and make sure that you match the side with the cardboard or interlining with the side that has the elastics. You're going to make your best to match up all your sides, but that's not going to be very easy with the elastic in the way. If you have some clips or clothespins, you can use them, but do not use pins since it's going to leave holes into your pleather. You're going to sew all around, and make sure that on the loose bit there you are going to fold them over before you sew over them. You can also glue the whole thing in place with some hot glue. So the next thing to do is to sew a line where your cardboard or interlining finishes. Is going to anchor the whole thing in place. Next you're going to mark up where you want your elastic to finish, and you're going to sew it in place. And you are essentially done. All you need to do is put your Kindle in place. Then close your cover and wrap the cord around it as many times as you like, and then you can trim the cord to your liking. Then you can tie a knot to keep everything in place, and you have a brand new case for your Kindle or iPad, tablet, whatever you want to make it for. So let's move on to the second design, and for that you will need some felt. I'm using this tan color so you can see properly, because black on black is, no, you won't see anything. You need to make it big enough so your device will fit nicely into it. I'm going to put my measurements down below. You will need as well some scales. You need loads of them, and if you want to know how to make them, I'm going to direct you to my dragon egg video. The first step, you're going to construct the sleeve, and you're going to sew around the 3 sides and leave the top unsewn so we can put our device into it. I am not bothering with turning the work inside out since everything is going to be covered in scales. So the first thing I did is cut a piece of cardboard to protect the inside, just in case the glue is going through the felt, and I would advise you to do the same thing. And then we can start gluing. So you're going to take each scales and you're going to glue them onto the cover. You're going to make sure that on the sides and the bottom you're going to overlap to hide the underneath cover, just like so. So you're going to keep on going with that row, doing the same thing, so gluing and making sure you overlap each scale over each other, and you overlap them over the bottom and the sides. Then you're going to construct your whole cover that way. You're going to overlap each new row over the one you made before, making sure that it will show no gap, and making sure as well that it overlaps on its sides. Once you're nearly finished with one side, just don't go all the way to the top. We're going to put a bit of a binding, and then you can repeat the same process on the other side, and making sure that you glue together the bits that are sticking out so you won't have any gaps that way. Then you're going to keep on constructing the other side of your cover the same way as you did on the other side. Just make sure that each side's scale are going to be glued with each other, so that way you will have a solid piece of cover and it won't show any of the felt underneath, especially if you have a different color like me. You don't want it to be too distracting. So to finish up the cover up, I cut a piece of leather that is long enough to go all around the cover, and the width I wanted it to be able to fold it over it since the color is different. But I would actually just advise you to cut a piece of leather that goes all around and that is stopping at the rim. It would be a lot easier, and if you're using the same color as the scales, it would be better. So I'm just gluing it on, and as I go along I'm going to glue it on the other side. The only problem is when you want to go around the corners, it becomes a bit too bulky and you have to cut them to make it. So to make it a bit less bulky, I had to cut a triangular piece on each of the sides, on each of the corners, sorry, and then I was able to fold it in and glue it in, but then it didn't make it too tidy. So that's what you would have to do if you wanted to do it that way.
Alright guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. As usual, if you did, why not giving this video a thumbs up so you can show support for this channel. And if you're not already and you want to be notified when I make a new video, you can press the subscribe button. It's gonna be somewhere in the end slide. And also you can catch up with me on all of my social medias, and I'm going to leave all the links in the description bar below, and also all comments or requests are going to be welcome in the comment bar. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye!